Alright, we're over here working at the shop today. Our auger bits that go on the front of our skid steer, they connect to a big hydraulic motor at the end. We got an 18 and a 12. These bits are pretty good. The only problem were the teeth bowed onto them. The little one takes 2 teeth. And the big one takes 6. Where this outside tooth bolts on, as soon as that tooth catches a rock, it bends that 1/2-inch piece of steel plate that they have bent at an angle. We bent this one very bad. You can kind of see there where I heated it up with a torch, and I got it straight as I could. I have a hair of a warp to it now, but it was bent 1.5 inches down. I mean, it made the bit unusable. I took the blowtorch, just got it hot enough just so we could bend it. And I've fixed some of these in the past, and the way I've always done them is just took a piece of 1/4-inch plate and made a gusset. And it goes from here straight across to here and then comes on up to the screw about there. It just goes straight across, and you have to cut these couple notches in it right here. But it really stiffens up these bits. And then usually I put a second one right here on this area. I already have the paint ground off. I haven't got my pieces made yet to weld onto it. I'm getting ready to make the pieces. The other thing we have to do today, our skid steer bucket, this is one of our extra ones, actually got a tear in it there and a tear right there. I bought this bucket new. But, of course, these things take extreme amount of abuse. But this one, usually these mounting plates are welded to the bucket 100%. But this one only has like a 2-inch weld, 2-inch weld, and then a 2-inch weld here at the bottom. So you can see where it started to rip. And actually it goes around the bottom of the bucket as well. So we're going to grind out the weld it all back in solid. And this right here is a 1/2-inch thick. It's called a wear plate. It goes all the way across the bottom of the bucket. But we're going to weld this adapter plate to the wear plate. Might have to put a little piece of steel in here just to get them together. I'm going to try to just fill it up with weld and see if it works. And you can see we have a weld broke right there. And then there's the other side. It's pretty much the same thing. Weld's broke up the side. It stops at the top of this weld. It didn't break into here or on up. But I'm gonna weld this side here continuous. Then redo this bottom weld here and then connect them two together. Across the bottom here we have they just done some small welds too, like stitch welds along the bottom. Might go ahead and weld that continuous as well. But I got the Miller stick welder out. You can really crank that thing up to burn in some metal very well. You can actually cut 1/2-inch plate with that welder. But we got a bunch of scrap 1/4-inch sheet steel here at the shop. And got a 3/8 adapter plate for a skid steer here. This one, I ordered this one already pre-made. And it is a 3/8 thick plate. It's all that thickness. But we're going to do a like a telescoping boom and weld it to that. That way we'll have a telescoping boom that go on the front of the skid steer, and it will go on the front of the tractor as well. They both have the same quick connect system. So anything that goes on the skid steer will hook on the tractor. But we can use that to set trusses, or if we need to reach out far and pick something up. I'm sure we'll have some uses for it. We set trusses quite often. But we'll get some pieces cut. Made a template for the piece I was needing to make. I know it looks small. It don't take a lot to brace these up. There's the piece I made. Plasma cutter got away from me a little bit right there. I put the tooth back on just so you can kind of see the clearance. There's very little clearance here because you have to be able to remove this tooth. So you have to be able to weld a gusset on here, but still have room to get to that bolt or nut. So after I weld both sides, I'll grind out where the nut is, just so we can get a socket on it and remove it if we ever need to replace that tooth. Piece fits pretty good. Got 3 more of these to make. Get them welded on. But it really adds a lot of support to these auger bits with that on there. A lot of support. End up cutting this one out with the plasma cutter. I had to replace the tip on it. Started cutting, making a real wide cut. And I put a little bend in this one, put it in the vise, put a little bend so it mimic the angle of the bit. But these tips on these plasma cutters, once they get, you touch them too close to the metal, it actually burns up the tips. But they are replaceable. A lot of times when you buy one of these, they'll give you 20 extra tips. But 1 down, 4 to go. Got this one cut. Got my notches cut out of it anyway. The plasma cutter cuts a really good line. Very clean too. And that is cutting one by hand without a straight edge. And then the other cut you can see is the line, which is just a straight cut, and I will use a straight edge for that just to try to make it look cleaner. Let's keep making some pieces. Got all my pieces made with the plasma cutter. That was the cut off of my last one there. We're doing the 2 augers. The bent pieces go on the outside on each side, and then the straight pieces go on the inside. And the inside has a hair bigger lip there to fill in. I got both augers ground down, ready to be welded on. Get them tacked on here. This process has took a little longer than it should. I had to stop and with the kids here. And put them a fork together. Built the frame of it and they covered it up. I told them to get inside of it, I'd spray it with a water hose and we'd see if it was waterproof. They wouldn't go for that. But let's get these pieces welded on. Alright, I got the gussets tacked onto the first auger here. That really makes a huge difference. How stout these things are. It's that little strip of metal up each side of that end tooth. Let's get them welded in place. Okay, we got both sides of this thing welded up. Got the slag knocked off of this one most of the way. I had to hit one little spot again back down in here. All the rest of it just had the slag knocked off of it. We just welded this side. We haven't knocked any of the slag off of anything. Burning it in very hot. There's a lot of different types of metal in these augers. You have some parts that are cast, and some parts that are just co-rolled. But we have all the different kinds of steel. You have to do a preheating. After you get done welding, if you'll cool it down with water, it'll harden your steel. But we have to grind a little bit of a weld off on this inside. It's kind of hard to see. That way our nut will still fit on the back side there. And the same thing here. You know, we have to have room for our nut and our washer. And I have to have room to get a socket on it as well. But get the slag knocked off this lower side. And grind on it just a little bit to clean it up. And I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, we got it ground down. Made sure right there to grind that weld back far enough so we had room for our nuts. Got the centers. It's hard to kind of tell. It's getting dark out here. Those two ribs that I added act like some gussets and add a tremendous amount of strength to this thing. We don't have to worry about bending it again. There's the little one back there. She's been out here helping. We didn't have time today to finish up the 18-inch auger. Made sure I got this one done. But we have to have this one for tomorrow. Put our teeth on. Help me there, Emma. Hold the back side of that.
Okay.
It's wet. We have a bunch of holes to dig in the morning. We have a 30 by 40 carport to put up. Grab me another tooth. Yeah, right here. Emma.
I got a tooth.
No, yeah, I know you got a tooth.
Here you go.
Yeah.
I can't get it. I couldn't
But
get my tooth.
just kind of trying to get this one done for that job in the morning. So where that one tooth flange was bent. You hold that one in for me? Yep. It wasn't digging good at all. Push it up for me. I can't get the nut on it. Alright, dentist. I need another tooth.
I'm not a dentist.
You take the nut off of it.
If I can, I'll try.
Wrong way. Other way. Got it? Alright. lock washer. Now nut.
Won't go on.
You got it going right. Alright, go grab the other one. I got this one.
There's not another toothpick. Only toothpick though.
Yeah, it is right there. We just need one more.
The toothpicks are hiding from me. Put in.
Now leave the bolt in it. Leave the bolt in the tooth. Okay. Yep. Okay. Lock washer.
Lucky washer.
And bolt. Or nut. You gotta put it on straight now.
I thought it was on straight. Ah, go on. It won't go on, Daddy.
I'm not putting it on straight. There you go. Other way.
Other way, seriously.
Yep. See how crooked it is? Put it on crooked.
It's being a bad nut.
Here, watch out. Let me get it.
Here, I'll hold it.
You hold the phone.
Phone is being holded. 49, 40, 22.
Alright. Let's got all our teeth back on it.
2, 3,
Just have to tighten them down. Of course, they're loose at the moment.
1, 2, 3, 4.
But that's how you fix a auger
Ah, that's my
For-
toy. That's my toy.
for a tractor or for a skid steer. It works the same either way. But that makes it stout enough where it won't bend every time you hit a rock.